he had an 80%, 20% terminology that might be valuable for coaches and players. Does anybody know what that was?
The 95.5?
Yeah, 95.5. Can you elaborate on that, Rick?
Yeah, George did a study, I believe back in the 80s. I found out about it in the 90s when he published it or brought it forward in I think it was in an advanced seminar presentation. But at any rate, he studied puck possession timing, or time of puck possession for players in all positions, and determined that any player for any length of time on the ice would only really be in contact with the puck for 5% of that time. And the question became, what are you doing with the other 95% of your time on the ice? And that, to me, that introduced the concept of puck support and things of that nature,
yeah.
Both offensively and defensively. And I still use that today. And it's Wally, the little book that I wrote that I shared with you, it's right there, I believe, on page 1.
Yeah, and that was a basis of practice, is that, a player will have the puck for about 30 seconds in a game, so you're not going to get a lot better carrying the puck if you just play games and don't practice. And George was one of the first ones that used lots of pucks on the ice that I ever saw, and people had the puck, and
Yeah,
a lot of it was based on that.
if you break that down on a ice time basis, a 3-line scenario in a 60-minute game, you're on the ice for 20 minutes if it's shared equally and evenly. And then so 20 minutes out of your 20, there's only 1 minute of that you actually are involved with the puck. The rest of the time, you're either doing nothing or trying to fit in somewhere. You don't want to be one doing nothing. You need to be trying to fit in somewhere.
Yeah, and that's something I'd say, is that there's never a time when there's nothing to do.
Oh, exactly.
I talk about the 4-game playing rules, and you're either an offense, defense, and on offense you either have the puck or you're supporting it. Defense, you're checking the puck here, supporting away, and then 30% of the game the puck is loose, and that's a whole different set of skills.
Yeah.
Is winning loose pucks, and so you have to build that into your practices.
That's a problem that dominant players have, particularly the younger they are, is that they break that rule. They have the puck more than 5% of the time, and their expectation going forward is that should just continue, that it should be their puck, that they don't need to share it. And that's a real habit that's tough to break with players as they move.
You call that 1-on-5 hockey?
Yes, we do.
That's all the minor hockey is.
Yeah.
We're trying to convince coaches to pass on to players these concepts so they can work together and let the puck do the work, as opposed to playing 1-on-5 hockey, which I commented on in a video I sent out from the provincials about it being 1-on-5 hockey. And the two champion teams that played in the final, there was limited. It wasn't great team play. It was some okay individual play, but because both teams checked well, it just tended to be a battle on the ice. There was no possession and no passing.
Yeah.
So
but the team that won the U15 AA, the Edmonton team, that one line played all the time, but they passed the puck.
Yeah.
All of them got a lot of points. And one girl's big and she's got shoot like a midget AA boy. And she scored all kinds, but they all scored lots and lots of points because they actually pass the puck and they can carry it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're trying to promote here with all minor hockey, boys or girls. Up the ladder is let the puck do the work. I watched the Canucks play a game a month ago sitting with Carey, and it wasn't great hockey. Some great individual players. And there was one time Carey's son Riley's line was out, and they were like a third, fourth line, and they executed an attack triangle twice that I never saw before all year. And I mentioned it to Gary. I said, that's an example of team play getting a chance to score. And all game I might have seen maybe 2 passes in a row 2 times. Other than that, it was 1 pass, carry, and done. 1 pass, carry, and dump it in and battle and get it back again. And I'm not saying it's just possession only, but boy, if you don't have the puck and can't keep it together, you're not going to be very successful as a player because you can defend anybody one-on-one. In theory, that's pretty easy to do.
Well, I think the hockey I see, players play backwards. You know, you get the puck, and to hang on to the puck, you go wide, and that's where the defense wants you, right?
Yeah.
And they feel they're doing great. They end up in the corner with the puck. Well, nobody's really stopping you from going to the corner. Where the Finns and the NHL you watch, they get the puck and they're trying to get between the dots with it right away. And that pulls the defense inside a little bit. And then you can do wide entries because, you know, if someone takes the ice behind and goes wide, you know, you pass to them, there's some room on the outside now. And then you get into over the blue line, you try to get between the dots and get a shot. So with the kids just handling the puck and end up in the corner all the time, you know, it's just kind of counter to what the game should be.
Well, my thoughts on that, Tom, is that coaching, generally speaking, doesn't tell the whole story to the players. They preach go wide. They don't tell them what to look for and what to do when they get there, why they're going wide. Obviously, you know, you're going wide to open up the middle, but you want it opened up so you can get the puck back in there into good space and somebody that's isolated themselves in that space. But they don't tell a complete story. They don't teach the complete story, and they don't enforce it. So you end up with players, like you said, they get down to the corner and they don't know what to do next. Whether that's when you can start your cycle, you can delay, come back up the wall, but it's an incomplete teaching scenario that leads to that situation happening, in my opinion.
What about drive skate, Rick?
Same thing. Remember the drive skate routine. The puck carrier needs to be a threat to go to the net. He's not just carrying the puck wide and driving to get behind the net. He needs to be going to the front of the net. They have to believe that's what he's doing. They will commit to him harder if they know that that's what his objective is. That opens up the ice quicker and greater, and somebody needs to fill. You need that support there, but the puck carrier needs to be looking for that. He needs to have an open mind both ways. You don't do the same thing all the time. But I just don't see enough of that teaching going on. My son just got back from 10 days in Latvia at a tournament. They played 10 games over there with the U15 team. They played the Finns, they played the Latvians, they played the Ukrainians, I think they played a Polish team, but virtually every one of those teams used all of those tactics from the 90s. The attack triangle, the cycling, delaying up the wall, fourth man attack. They're all using that over there. They're teaching that to their kids. And over here, when I bring that up, when I'm mentoring, I get the dumb look. If they even know what I'm talking about, their usually comment is, yeah, but that's old stuff. We don't do that anymore. Why not?
Well, it's all about setting up 2-on-1s,
Yeah.
2-on-1s on players. And, you know, and then someone going to the net takes a D there, that creates space in the middle, then creates space for that fourth man to jump up wide.
But you're not creating space just for the sake of creating space. You need to know what the objective is and how to take full advantage of it. That's what I don't see being taught near enough.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like the Finns and the Swedes, they call it big ice hockey. They get between the dots, you know, and with the puck in the neutral zone.
Yep.
And then they'll do the wide entry. Of course, if the D lets you go through, you go through. But the D's going to be trying to stop you from going, going to the net from there. So they have to play you, and that creates space wide. And then, of course, you want to get between the dots after that again. And yeah, it's almost like keep away sometimes. But
Yeah, you're right, Tom. Darryl Belfry called it the possession game. If you got the puck by yourself or using your teammates, they don't have it. You've got a better chance. You're going to have zone time, possession, create opportunities, and pressure the opponent. And we're just trying to get minor hockey to grow the game and develop the minds of those kids to think the game, because I really think that we're not ready to coach them and how brilliant they are. And watching these girls grow up, I think we really have to let them figure things out more, ask them questions, get them thinking, and let them think on the ice and make mistakes and learn from them. So, well, guys, look, I've got to run my income tax over. I've recorded this last portion, and it's really been valuable to me. I've got something to edit from this session with Carry On, and I want to thank you for coming on, Rick. Glad to have you.
Always a pleasure.
And Tom, as usual, and the first Monday of the month, we'll meet at Cadence, and looking forward to next Thursday. Sammy Jo Small said she would come on and talk about the World Championships that she broadcasted at in Utica. And I really enjoyed Canada's win. The final game was probably the best character effort I've ever seen by a team in hockey at any level. It was an amazing comeback kind of game. Two really great teams, and pretty happy with winning and the way we won. It was just wonderful. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off here, and we'll stay in touch, and I'll talk to you on the phone both later. Okay, take care, guys.
okay, see you, Rick. See you, Wally.
Bye-bye.
Wait.